welcome to Tae Kwon Do training. I'll be instructor for today's show, Bob Lemire. What I'd like to do on today's show is some very basic hand technique combinations. Very easy, very easy. And we'll do some exercises also sitting down, especially for people who are in wheelchairs or people, just to learn how to defend yourself sitting in a chair. We're just going to do some basic hand technique. We're going to start off with just a regular punch, all right? And I'll make sure that it's easy for everyone to do. So if you haven't watched my show before, I try to explain everything over and over, whether it's the stances or positioning of the hands, and I go over it over and over. So if you do watch my show a lot, you say, wow, he keeps saying the same thing over. Of course, and now it's going to be embedded into your brain for me constantly saying the same kind of technique or exercises. All right, left fighting stance. All right, again, left fighting stance, just like you're walking. All right, we're going to make that quick. All right, shoulder width apart. All right, this isn't shoulder width apart, and this isn't shoulder width apart. Shoulder width apart, nice and relaxed. That's how you walk every day. All right, just keep it nice and easy, nice and relaxed. Hands are up here. What we're going to do is just start with a punch, all right? And so from here, my hands are up. Notice they're up close to my face, all right? One, all right? Notice I'm twisting my hand, hitting with these two front knuckles, index finger and your middle finger, all right? You're hitting with those two knuckles. All right, so what we're going to do is just throw a single punch. All right? From there, from that punch, we're going to snap with a back fist to the side, all right? Easy little combination. Punch. Now notice my hand comes back here, and I snap this way. Right? So my hand is opposite till final, then keep it downwards, and then snap till the final motion. Okay? So it's 1 and 2. Right? 1, 2. This is a good exercise also to practice your hip jog. Hip jog. And a hip jog is snapping your hip before the action. Snapping it before the punch in the direction, boom, boom. And see how I snap this way. When you do your back fist, try to keep your elbow bent just a little. If you extend it, you hyperextend, all right? You extend it, you hyperextend your elbow by constantly doing it, you know? So punch, back fist. That's just a nice, easy combination. That's a good combination for a breaking technique, too, if you're training for in the martial arts at a school or for a tournament. You break here and you break there, all right? Back fists are good. You're going to be hitting, when you punch, you're hitting with those two front knuckles. When you're doing your back fist, you're hitting with the same two knuckles. You know, your baby finger and your ring finger are really weak, all right? Those knuckles are kind of weak. And if you hit them, they're easy to break. The two front knuckles are much, much stronger. So you want to make sure that when you do your technique, those are the hands, the parts of your hand that you will you'll break with. And even if you hit someone in the head with a back fist with your baby finger, that knuckle and stuff, that could just snap. It's kind of awkward, and it's off to the side, and it'll break in. You don't want to be breaking any bones. All right, so that's pretty easy, all right? Punch and back fist. You can always do back fist and punch, all right? Snap, snap, all right? Good exercises, 1, 2, 1, 2. See my step? We used to do so much hip jog with my grandmaster, Mu Young Lee. We get big pains in our stomach. And we'd say, oh, my stomach hurts, and he'd say, keep going. And it would be like a runner's pain that you get. It goes away, and then mostly never comes back. But you have to work through it. You have to build that type of muscle. And it doesn't last long. I mean, it doesn't take long to get that nice tightness that you need. Okay, so that's pretty easy. All right? Anything I'm doing now, I'm going to spend about 10, 15 minutes standing, and then I'm going to spend the next time, whether you were in a wheelchair or just a regular chair and you couldn't get up and you want to do these exercises. You know, if you're in a wheelchair, you can still practice Tae Kwon Do. You can still do the martial arts. I've taught many, many people who were paraplegic and could not walk and just did some hand technique from the chair. Why not? and you get a good workout. All right, so that's easy. Punch and back fist. Punch and back fist. Da, 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 da. And you snap. See this hand staying up. All right. You could do that with, we can also do that with, say, a spare finger. Now, a spare finger, you make it like a knife hand, all right? Press your thumb. You're going to press your thumb against your, the side of your hand where your index finger is. Press it tight. We're not going in here, and we're not coming out of it. We're pressing it. By pressing that and bending your middle finger and the other fingers just slightly, you create this muscle that's going to be tight. And when that's tight, it becomes the weapon for your knife hand. And when you're doing a spare finger, all right, you're still doing the same thing as a knife hand. But you're coming in and you're trying to go for the eye, you're trying to go for the neck area. You can get under the neck, you can get into the eyes. If someone's attacking you and they hold you and you come in with a nice spare finger to the eyes, they're done. They're not going to want to keep fighting you. They're not going to want to keep attacking you. Hit someone in here and you're going to cause some damage. Solar plex, you come in. It takes a lot of practice to make sure you get in that area. Solar plex right here is very weak, and it's tender, all right? It's a big groin area if you come down. So you're in that fighting stance, somebody grabs you or you block or whatever, and you come straight in, all right? As I say, either to the eyes or to the throat if it's going to be high section, right? And it's the punches this way and the spare finger, see how I snap? I don't just go, I can't even do it. I can't. You don't go straight. You try to get that spin, all right? And that spin gives you the snap. And at the last second, snap. And that goes right to the throat or the eyeballs, all right? Again, hip jog. Now, again, you can have knife hand strike, spare finger strike to the eyes, then knife hand to the side, a regular knife hand. Spare finger to the front, all right? Reverse knife hand, all right? You can have that. Spare finger to the front, back fist to the side. You can mix up those combinations, all right? So, spare finger. Now, if you're going to do a regular knife hand after that spare finger, here, you twist your hand. You go 1 in, and very quickly, 2 to the side. 1, 2, all right? And remember now, you're hitting with this hand's ready to go, and your feet are ready to go. Both legs are ready to go. You got 4 weapons you're working with right there. So you've got a lot to work with. The more you train in the martial arts, the more you train daily or how many times you train during the week, you start getting precise with what you want to do. You're doing so much technique, and you say, well, I won't know what to do. Your body will react because you're doing it so many times. And you've got these weapons that you can work with. All right, so when one weapon's doing something, either block, whatever, the other weapon's coming in. That's the great thing about martial arts, especially Tae Kwon Do. Spare finger, knife hand, spare finger, look at. All right, knife hand, spare finger. Now reverse knife hand. If you do a knife hand, you're pressing against where your index finger is, that part of your hand. When you're doing a reverse knife hand or ridge hand, you bring that thumb in, and now you're hitting with this part, that part in your hand. You're not hitting with your thumb. You're hitting with this part here. All right, that little muscle there. Everything still stays tight. All right, so it's 1. Now, the great thing about this, I don't have to turn my hand. I just come in, and then I go opposite again. 1, 2. Ridge hand and knife hands, they're great to get into this area. A lot of times you throw a punch and you hit the jaw or something. But you throw a knife hand and you're hitting the side, all right? Or a spare finger, you're going underneath, all right? Reverse knife hand, same thing. You're going underneath, all right? And it's very, very powerful. Especially when you're doing these type of exercises, again, keep that elbow bent right at the end. Not straight, that elbow bent, all right? That way, you're not going to hyperextend the elbow. And even if you never hyperextended it like that one big time, over and over use. It's like they call it tennis elbow. And if you just keep going, or any kind of exercise, any kind of sport, you're getting in shape, but you're wearing away at certain tendons, and you're wearing away at certain joints. So you got to kind of watch it. You got to try to make it so that you're not hurting yourself trying to get yourself in shape or trying to learn the martial arts. Okay, so spare finger, reverse. See how I just snapped it this way? All right, punch. You reverse. See, you can make up any of these combinations as you go along. 1, 2. See, you have a knife hand, you have a back fist, you have a reverse knife hand. So any direction you want to the side. Reverse knife hand, also maybe to the ribs, the floating ribs. You come in, someone's grabbing you, or you block, you're coming in. Now this way, you're coming in this way. Especially this type of exercise, especially when you're hitting. If you were breaking or you were hitting a pad or something, you can't have your arm straight because you will hurt yourself. I've done it. I made a mistake and I hit the pad or I hit a heavy bag and everything just pulled it. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of pain there. So you have to keep that little bend, and that'll keep the hyperextension away. And that comes in. That's powerful because if you're doing a hip jog, you're snapping in. All right, you're snapping in, and you're putting all your power, and you've got a good motion flow going in. You hit someone here with this to the ribs or this to the ribs, knife hand. Again, the small concentration of the area that you're attacking with, hitting a small concentration, a rib or any other part, causes that power. All right, and that's where the explosion of the power is right there. All the power is generated in that small area. That's what breaks. If it's a slap, the power, it's all over your hand. All right, the slap, a knife hand or any kind of attack, that small area is where you're going to cause all the pain, especially the neck. You can actually knock someone or kill them if you hit them hard enough with a knife hand to the neck. So someone grabs you, someone's right on top of you, grabbing you, boom, you come straight down on their neck, or you come in hard in their ribs, you're going to inflict a lot of pain. They're going to let you go. All right? So you have a reverse knife hand to the midsection, then high section. Or you have a knife hand, so you have a knife hand to the midsection, come back, and then ridge hand to the high section, okay? So as you hit them here and they go, ugh, right? Then you come up and you meet them up around the head area. And any part of the head, doesn't matter what any part of the head is a good target. The head's a great target. So that's why you have to protect your head. Again, you get hit in the body, it's going to hurt. It might bend over some. You get hit in the head, you get knocked out or get killed. You have to protect your head. So that whenever you see me do any kind of hand technique or even kicking, a lot of times as I'm doing the show, my hands will drop so that you can almost hear and see me talk. Normally when I'm fighting, I'm up here. I'm staying up here. All right? I used to like to, it's funny, you watch boxers over the years. Muhammad Ali would come down and he'd be doing this. Sugar Ray Leonard would be doing that. Then you watch guys like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson comes in like this, all right? He's not as fast as those guys, but he ain't letting you hit. If you hit him, you're going to hit his gloves. Same thing. Someone throws a punch and they hit your hands, all right? They're hitting your hand. You're doing a little blocking. It's hard for, you could block your whole head, you block your upper body, and you even block in the midsection as you're coming down, just by doing this. A lot of times they might hit the bone and they hurt themselves, okay? So, blocking, hands up all the time. If you're ever teaching your children how to fight, first thing, hands up. That's the first thing you teach them. You keep your hands up. And then they'll drop them and you go very slightly, try to tap them in the face so they bring up and they know that you can't tap them in the face. Okay, so it's pretty easy stuff. You've got knife hand, reverse knife hand, Okay, reverse knife hand, right? Any kind of combination you wanna do. You know, do both sides also. Do right and do left all the time. I'm a righty. This is my power, all right? But if I do 10 exercises or combinations on my right, I'm going to do 10 on my left. Not going to be as strong. And, you know, it might be wishy-washy, but the more you practice it, the more power you're going to get, okay? Okay, so once again, if you're bound to a chair, not bound to a chair, but say you're in a wheelchair, or say you're older and you have no good balance. All right, try to get a chair in the house. It's better if you don't have the arms, but if you do have the arms, that's okay. And a wheelchair has arms and stuff, so that's okay. But a chair like this is even better. All right, make sure it's not too wobbly. You don't want to fall. As I say, I've taught many people. Especially young kids, I see they're in a wheel. You know, if I would teach at schools, and there'd always be a young child with a wheelchair sitting in the corner, not participating, I'd go right over all the time. I'd give them a private little 5-10 minute lesson on hand technique, and they would love it. All right, so you're in a chair. It's the same thing. All right, right here. Say if you had a wheelchair and you had the arms here, so your arms up here. Someone's coming over to the side. Boom. You practice that. All right? You practice the back fist. Okay? Same thing, back fist. All right? Someone coming from behind you. Boom. Back fist. So learn the back fist. Learn the easy technique of a back fist. All right? You're here. Punch. Boom. Notice, I'm sitting here. I still come up. This hand comes up to block. Boom. Someone's coming in. Think about it. Someone's coming in. They're going to come. Maybe they're going to grab you. You're sitting down. So you're sitting down and you want to defend yourself. Someone's going to grab you. They're mad at you. Right from here, bang! You meet them. You meet them halfway there. You can all throw kicks, but we're not going to do that today. And especially with a chair, you got to make sure you don't throw a kick and go flying over in the back. A lot of times I get going. I just want to show so much, but I got to try to remember how you can get hurt by doing certain crazy exercises. All right, so knife hand, you're in a chair, bang, knife hand here. Someone's coming at you and you're in a chair. They've got to bend down, you know, okay? Or they've got to almost come down to your level to throw a punch. Good, now you're coming in my territory, all right? You're block and punch, all right? All right, upset and punch, all right? They're coming down, boom, right to the groin area because you're around that area right there, all right? So you should be able to protect yourself just a little or have a fighting chance, okay? And again, you can still practice all the combinations. Bah, bah. Look at punch, 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 back fist, punch, knife hand, punch, reverse knife hand, spare finger, okay? Back fist, okay? Low section punch to the groin area, okay? Now, I'm only using one hand. I'm not even using the other hand right now. I'm just using this hand to block. It's for combination. But low section punch, okay? And then back fist, high section, okay? An upset punch is this way, all right? So say someone was choking you, sitting down, bang, up here this way. A regular punch comes this way, this opposite, this way, all right? Snap. Excuse me. So it don't take much power if you hit the right area. Okay, and again, sitting down, you got the control of your hands. You have control of balance also. Many years ago, I used to watch Wild World of Sports every Saturday. Everyone did because we had 4 channels, and that's all you got. So Wild World of Sports was the biggie on Saturday night. And I remember watching inside the ring. They had a whole martial art demonstration. And a guy come out. They wheeled him out on the stage. And he was doing what I'm doing right now. But he was phenomenal. He had his black belt or whatever in martial arts. And he had his wheelchair with the wheels out here and the armrest here. But the armrest would come out with two say sticks not sticks, but they were weapons. They were part of the armrest. So the whole armrest was that big. And he just be able to pop them off. Now he had, almost fighting sticks. It's beautiful. And people would attack him. He'd pull them off. Boom, boom, boom. Take him now. They didn't have a chance. Then he could fly off he had the ability to jump off and jump on his opponent and take him down. And it's all practice, all practice. So even though you have disability, you're in a wheelchair, you can do all your upper body, if you have the ability, all right? And we're doing blocks. We're doing high section block, okay? Block to the side, block, inner forearm block to the side, outer forearm block to the side, X block. Somebody's coming in with a stick, bah, okay? You just practice that in the mirror, right? Just as everyone else would. If you're sitting down at a party and someone coming at you hard, you could do block and you could do kicks. You know what I'm saying? You can, they come in they had a weapon. Boom. You blocked it there. You came in. Nice, easy kick to the midsection of the groin area or the knee. That'll stop them. Pretty easy. And even though you say you're sitting down or you're in a wheelchair, and you have to stretch before you start training in the martial arts or anything. You start doing back fists or knife hand, and you're very tight. That's when you start tearing muscle and really hurting yourself. And you can cause a lot of damage if you're not just loosened up a little. So that you just practice this kind of, moving around this way, moving around this way. You're trying to get things nice and warm and nice and loose, okay? And then when you start, you start very slow so that you warm up and work yourself into your workout, okay? So, again, you're practicing, you practice both sides, all right? Punch, back fist, punch, back fist, punch. Look at punch, knife hand, punch, reverse knife hand, ridge hand, okay? So when you do the reverse knife hand or the ridge, as you're going over, stick that thumb in there. You don't want to leave the thumb out there or you'll break it. But if you hit with the whole inside ridge, it's a little more in advance, but it's great, especially board breaking. And you could even board break if you were sitting down. We've done that many a time. You set up boards all over. 1, 2, 3, okay? We'll use both hands if you have to. And it's fun to demonstrate if you're at a demonstration or a test. Just because if you're in a wheelchair and you have upper body, you can do some upper body movement. Join a martial arts school. They'll take you. Most martial arts schools will take you or get a private lesson, whatever. You'll have so much fun. And what you will do is you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Your upper body's just going to get really strong. And just by doing all these moves, get you a nice strong midsection, nice strong core. Get your arms and your shoulders in good shape, okay? And boy, there's no reason you can't get a black belt or a high rank, even if you are in a wheelchair. So those people watching at home, don't be afraid to ever call any martial arts school. If one martial arts school says no, they don't allow it, others will. All right, there's a lot of them out there. And when you see me doing some of these exercises, all right, on this show, don't be afraid to Google anything, Tae Kwon Do. Google Tae Kwon Do knife hand. And watch what you get. You're going to get exactly what you're seeing here. Spare finger, combinations. Google and your iPad, your iPhones and that. Tremendous, tremendous way of learning, free. All right? Not that you're paying for the phone, but you're not going to pay martial arts school. So try to just remember, when you do these exercises, and I'm showing you, basic right now, and you want to show your children, or even you want to do it with your friends, you have to go easy. You have to make sure you're separated, and you have to make sure they understand how much they can hurt each other. And I mean little children, 4 years old, 3 and 4, 5 years old. One child learns how to punch, and the other child doesn't know and wants to come over, and they're going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt. You have to teach them exactly that it's for self-defense only. And even then, children, they fight, and But if they start learning young, they say that children start learning at 5, 6 years old, basic at home. Boy, they're going to be so confident as they grow up, especially if they keep training. And it's better to have that confidence. Know that you can take care of yourself, so that you don't live in fear or of going to school and the bullies. Once the bully realizes that you have any idea how to fight back, they don't want to get hit. They're going to stay away from you because the next kid down there doesn't know how to protect themselves. So that's where they go. So they're going to leave you alone. But then again, now we have another thing. Do you protect your friends? You know what I'm saying? You don't let the bullies get away with anything. All right? And they're out there. They're out there everywhere. And in all ages. All right? We're talking preschool all the way into my age. All right? The bullies out there, and they're dying to prey on someone that they think they can take care of or take advantage of. It's about all the time we have tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, stretch before and kind of loosen up after when you're done, just to calm and cool yourself down. Till next time, have fun and train hard.